So we're talking about narcissism. Is it so many of us, it's so rampant to be talking about narcissism. Is it so where we're starting here today is what is narcissism? Is it the extreme narcissism? There's a whole spectrum of narcissism, and there's healthy narcissism. So a loose definition of narcissism is being self-consumed, right? So what we're looking at is, I mean, having sense of self is human, natural, normal. So that's where it's like, that's where I want to help people get clear on when somebody's being a tilting into a personality disorder, narcissism, where they're not capable nor interested in anybody else, caring about somebody else's opinion, hearing somebody else's opinion, or their well-being. I mean, that's the more serious narcissism, where a person is completely consumed with themselves, their own agenda, and there's no getting in there. So that's at the way extreme end of narcissism, which I just want to name. We're not going to be addressing that right now. We will in a later video. Right now, what I want to introduce, just normal narcissism and how to help, what I would so love to help people with in themselves and in relationship, is how to get in the game when we might be exhibiting being self-consumed at the expense of the other person, but we care and we want to know and we want to course correct on that ourselves and other and in relationship with each other, and how to do that. So, and it's sticky, it's complicated, it's not so easy. What I think is the most important part of this for us as individuals is wanting to to see when we're narcissistic, when we're being so self-consumed at the expense of other, that if we're showing that we want to see that in ourselves, and I'm slowing down, it's tender stuff. I mean, this human experience, especially in Western culture and especially in the United States, we're programmed to be individuals. Go get successful, go find that perfect partner, be consume, take care of yourself, be gorgeous, be fabulous, get that person. All of that are really supplying us to be a bunch of narcissists. I mean, there's a reason there's an epidemic of narcissism. We are raised and conditioned and programmed to be a bunch of narcissists. We really are, especially now with capitalism, and we see the billionaires and, people who are capable of being wealthy and oppressing others at others' expense so that they can be rich. I mean, that's extreme. That's a whole other Megillah, but that's important to bring in here because we've got to look at that in ourselves. This area where what I want to help people do is, yes, absolutely be in touch with yourself, your feelings, what you need, being understood. The crux of this is understanding ourselves, getting to know ourselves really well, our feelings, and being able to communicate. I am all balled up. I'm constructive. And what you just said makes me feel hatred. I feel fire. I feel aggression. Right, to be able to say that. We're not talking about being perfect and being a bunch of robots. We're talking about how to navigate this experience of being humans together. It's one thing to be feeling the other person is narcissistic and you're a narcissist, there's narcissism, which you may be picking up on, and it could be valid. What I want to encourage us all to do, myself included, is, am I being narcissistic? Am I being so what? Because what I want to help create is what's known in Buddhism and in Asian studies is the middle way. Is, can we find the middle way where am I willing to understand you and what's going on for you in order and to co-create you understanding me? So are we both willing and able to understand each other, not just be hell-bent on you understanding me? You're here to take care of my needs and you have to understand me. And that's narcissism, kids. We all know the feeling when it's like, oh my God, I need you to understand this. You. And it's understandable. It's just, I want us to slow down enough to be like, okay, I'm in relationship with this other person. And there's certain dynamics that go into being in relationship with another person that are necessary. And that's where I want us to be aware of our own self-consumed, where it's like, I am hell bent on you understanding me. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to explain myself. I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to, right, until you relent, or right, which that's us being self-consumed. It's understandable, and it's one of these human things that it's so tough. But can we be like, okay, I'm really consumed with my own experience and my own needs right now. Like, I don't give a shit about you. I just need you to understand me. And it's like, ooh, hang on, gang. I got to slow down and see, oh yeah, I am completely self-consumed. Everything that's going on for me is about me, which is understandable. I'm not making it wrong or bad. I want to help us all be able to see that and be like, oh, okay, I'm in relationship with this other human and I've got to take them into consideration. It's a fact, and it's just true. And it enhances our relationships with each other. So I know I started with narcissism in this wide spectrum, and I'm doing narcissism light, where we can see, I can, where we can all see where we're self-consumed, and we go into life pretty self-consumed, that everything's about us and wanting the world to get that and people to get it, and for us to see that about ourselves. And hang on a second, because guess what? That's what's happening in the world. We're all a bunch of self-consumed, where we're like, you're not, hey, this is my opinion, and this is how I feel, and this is what I want, and it's up to you to give it to me. It's like, what? Hell no. It goes without saying I'm going to say it again because it's so important, is there's a spectrum of narcissism. By entering here at the light, which we all dwell, everybody has narcissism, flavors of it, and that's what excites me, is about working on that. It is not to take away from or diminish or say that there is absolutely narcissistic abuse, more serious versions of narcissism that are real, absolutely need tending to. And there are people who are experts in that field. I am not. But I do consider myself an expert in working with people with narcissism, meaning that I like to help people see with kindness. I'm not going to sit here and nail people. Sometimes I do. Sometimes somebody is so hell-bent on being a narcissist that I do come out and say, hey, you are being one of those people that people talk about and that's considered. And sometimes it's necessary to say, because nobody else ever says it to this person. Everybody's scared of them. And I have been known to do this with people, and it can be helpful because, again, my intentions are to help and be of service. Even with the person where I'm saying, hey, you are being one of those narcissists, I'm still doing it with love, kindness, and respect, because I want to help that person see that actually what their behavior works against them. They might get their way, or they might be rich, they might have all these things, but they don't feel good inside. They know something's not right. So anyway, and again, there's spectrums. There's people who are not where it's never going to change, where there's sociopathy and psychopathology, where what that means is they don't show any interest in change or considering other people, and that their way is the way it's going to be. And that's more on the serious end. I'm more in the workable, doable scope of things with narcissism, even extreme narcissism, where if somebody's being harmed and you're being controlled, and somebody's got control of your money and isolates you, and those more serious things, and even physically harms you, or that is not my area of expertise. There are experts in that, and that is serious stuff and needs tending to. I just need to say up front, that's not my area of expertise. I'm more in the spectrum of when things can change, and people who are interested in that. That's the key. That's the key. Is even people who can come and say something's not feeling right or something's wrong. I need help. Um, that's workable. That's 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 a so I love working with couples where there that can be because I can be the person who names things. I deeply care about people. I don't want to nail people in shame or blame, or I really want to help people get the love that they want. And that's where I'm coming from with relationship, where to help us all see our narcissism is to actually see it's preventing us from getting what we actually want. I'm not here to shame, blame, make it's just that narcissism actually prevents what we actually want. So wanting to be understood, when we're self-consumed and you, or we, it's actually keeping people away. So I want to teach people how to see and be with this experience of narcissism. We all have it. It's like, yeah, I want you to just know what I want. I just want you to give it to me. And I want it the way I want it. I get it. And I would like to help you do that. But when we're shit and when we're consumed with ourselves and we're demanding and it's up to the other person to give all that, either we're in a really dysfunctional codependent relationship with I don't know how sustainable that's going to be, the other person giving you what you want and they might do that in the beginning and then it flips and then they're like this. That's another thing is people might, the narcissist, their narcissist, they might do that to lure you in at first. And then it's like, oh shit, you were so wonderful when we were dating. And in the beginning of you showered me with gifts and then, yeah. And then all of a sudden we're married and like, what happened? Yeah. I tilted on your narcissist, we got to look at that stuff, gang. So, I mean, I know I get passionate about this stuff and it's because I really care. I really want, I can't stress it enough when I'm with people and their narcissism and some levels of extreme and it's playing out, especially when I work with couples or even individuals. I can't stress enough how important it is to me to express kindness, respect, care, love, if and when that feels appropriate. I don't, if somebody's not open to that, but I am. I deeply love, and especially people who show up to do this work. That just automatically makes me love a person. It's like that's effing awesome to show up and be able to say I need help. So I will reciprocate that vulnerability and that trust and that. Um, I just wanted you to know that, people.